once overheard my grandmother say that not everyone gets the luxury of dropping dead. I didn't understand what she meant by this until I observed the process of death for myself. Today I'm going to talk about the process of death. Some of you may know a little bit about the process of death, and I hope to help you gain an understanding of this. And some of you may know a lot about the process of death, and I hope to increase your knowledge and provide you with some additional information. We all experience death in our lives, whether it be someone else that's close to us, or if it's death in just ourselves. I personally observe death with my career every day. I'm going to talk about the beginning signs of death, death itself, and what happens after death. The beginning signs and symptoms. There are similarities between birth and death. Birth into this world can be seen as a death from another world. Death in this world can be seen as a birth into a new world. As stated by Barbara Carnes, an RN, in her book, The 11th Hour, written in 2008. And I have a graph over here of the percentages of death by age and income. Low-income countries tend to have a higher percentage of death in people between the ages of 0 and 14, whereas high-income countries tend to have higher percentages of death in people over the age of 70. And the reason I'm showing you this is to show you that no matter your age, you're going to experience death, and depending on the country, you may experience it later in life or sooner. The reason that we pass away is because our cells are only meant to last for so long, and as those cells begin to die, we begin to pass away. The difference in milestones is because depending on where in your body that those cells are dying, it will depend on how long you will live. This is the stage where people start to contemplate life. They sort through their regrets. This is the emotional state, and they may begin to experience loss of appetite and loss of weight, and their sleep is increased. There are 5 tasks associated with dying. The first being asking for forgiveness, offering heartfelt thanks, offering sentiments of love, and then saying goodbye. As death approaches, the individual may sleep more than they're awake. They may start experiencing delusions or hallucinations where they are speaking to other people in the room. They start to get very agitated and pull at their covers, and their movements are in agitation. Their blood pressure becomes lower, their temperature is lowered, their pulse becomes irregular, and their speaking may decrease. And in this picture here, I have a picture of someone who is getting closer to death, and if you notice, the skin pigment in their hands begin to change, and in their feet, and sometimes even in their face. The breathing changes, and most people experience what is called chain stokes, which is very long breaths or very short breaths. It's very rhythmic, and they may even stop breathing at moments and then start again before they actually pass. Most people become in a comatose state, which is very unresponsive. They may be staring out, and their eyes may be open, but they are unaware of their surroundings. And in the Greater Journey compiled by Horizon Home Health and Hospice in 2010, it says, the signs of death include no breathing, no heartbeat, a release of bowel and bladder, no response, eyelids slightly open, pupils enlarged, eyes fixed on a certain spot, no blinking, jaw relaxed, and mouth slightly open. And after the heart stops beating, the body immediately starts turning cold. This phase is known as rigor mortis, or the death chill. Each hour, the body temperature falls about 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit until it reaches room temperature. At the same time, without circulation to keep it moving through the body, blood starts to pool and settle. Rigor mortis, or a stiffening of the body, sets in about 2 hours after death. And this is taken from www.newscientist.com on the 10th of October 2007, written by Joe Marchant and Lucy Middleton. The skin cells on the body are still alive, even though the body is dead. There's living organisms in the intestines that begin to decompose the body. Within days, they will begin breaking down the host. It will cause the body to turn green and then purple and then eventually black. And it may cause the body to blow and the eyes to bulge. And this is the reason why in many countries we bury people before that. And we just talked about the process of death, the beginning signs of death, death itself, and what happens after death. My sister has different feelings than my grandmother about death. She would prefer to pass away peacefully in her sleep like our grandfather instead of screaming like the other passengers in his car. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead. Mostly dead is slightly alive. With all dead, the process of death is completely complete.